This is going to be a challenging, I'd say a challenging 12 months. I want to be sort of realistic about it. Like Tesla is not immune to the global economic environment. I expect things to be just at a macroeconomic level difficult for at least the next 12 months. Tesla will get through it and we'll do well, and I think we'll see a lot of companies actually go bankrupt. So I want to make sure that this is not just the good news parade. It's important to understand that no company is immune to the macroeconomic environment. But that said, it won't be darkness forever. I expect probably a year of difficulty globally for everyone. And then my best guess is that the global economy turns around in roughly 12 months. And then Tesla will be in an extremely good position. So anyone who is a long-term investor, I think, will do extremely well. The economy moves in cycles, and we've had a very long period of upcycle. The next 12 months will be, I think, difficult for everyone. And I think, when Berkshire Hathaway had their annual meeting, Warren and Charlie actually said, like, hey, this year, the Berkshire companies are going to make less money. They're very well-run organizations, and I think that's just generally true for the economy. So, it's also important to remember that there are good times and there are dark times, but then the good times follow the dark times. So, my advice would be, don't look at the markets for the next 12 months. If there's a dip, buy the dip. And I think you will not be sorry, because there's just generally a sort of there's an economic cycle to things, but things come back up. So my guess is tough times for a year. Like I said, just my guess. But then Tesla will emerge stronger than ever, and the long term, if you say like net present value of future cash flows, will be incredible, in my opinion. I had to do like some major open heart surgery on Twitter to ensure the company's survival, but there was a short-term distraction. But that, I think, Twitter is now in a stable place, and obviously very excited to have Linda Yaccarino join, and so I think Linda's going to do a great job running Twitter, and I'll provide obviously guidance on technology development. I feel at this point I don't need to devote incremental time. The amount of time that Twitter will take going forward is relatively small compared to the last 6 months. So yeah.
You're thinking about stepping down as CEO. Please say it ain't so.
It ain't so. So I think Tesla's going to play an important role in AI and AGI, and I think I need to oversee that to make sure it's good. So, because that's a thorny problem if there ever was one. I think generally people do not, or very few people, even in the AI community, do not appreciate just how much capability Tesla has in AI. It's by far the most advanced real-world AI. There's no one even close. Reality has the most degrees of freedom. So I got to make sure that's good. But I think I hear your sort of larger point, which is that there are amazing features and functionality about Teslas that people just don't know about. So, yeah. And although there's obviously a lot of people that follow, like, say, the Tesla account and the my account, whatever, on Twitter, to some degree, it is preaching to the choir, and the choir is already convinced. So I think what you're saying does have some merit, and you know what? I believe in taking suggestions, so we'll try a little advertising and see how it goes. Okay. Okay. All right, I wasn't expecting that level of enthusiasm. But okay, it sounds like our shareholders, if I read between the lines, subtle as it is, are saying we should probably do some advertising. Okay, very well. We're also the largest EV maker in the world. So. Yeah, and I think that will continue. And while at the same time being the highest margin of any car maker in the world. Now, making electric vehicles profitably is hard, as illustrated by the difficulty of our competitors. A number of our competitors are making EVs at a significant loss. But we are not. We are actually making EVs profitably, and almost no one else is. This is hard. So, and I'd say for this, it's a massive credit to the Tesla team for, I can't tell you how hard manufacturing is. Like, you've probably heard me say that prototypes are easy, manufacturing is hard. And then manufacturing at scale with positive cash flow is excruciating. It's mega pain. But the Tesla team has done it. It's never a shortage of ideas. Ideas, frankly, I find ideas to be somewhat trivial. But the execution of the idea is extremely difficult. So it's not product ideas. They're irrelevant. That's what I think of them. It's sort of like the idea of going to the moon. That's irrelevant. Getting to the moon is the hard part. We are highly confident that Model Y will be the #1 best-selling car on Earth this year. And in fact, in Europe, the best-selling car of any kind, whatsoever. It's already was that in Q1, I should say. It's not like will be. It was that in Q1. And China, the best-selling SUV, and the United States, the best-selling non-pickup vehicle in the United States in Q1. So, it's going well. We received 3.6 million job applications last year. So. And once again, the top two most desired companies for engineers on Earth were SpaceX and Tesla. So. At the end of the day, the competitiveness of any given company is a function of where are the most talented people interested in working. That is the team that's going to win. In fact, I'd say this is generally the case. If you look at any given company and say, where are the most smartest, most driven people going to work, that company is going to win. So whether it's Tesla or any other company. So a Cybertruck is a hard car to make. It's because it's such a radically new design. It actually, you can't just use conventional methods of manufacturing. we had to invent a whole new set of manufacturing techniques in order to build an exoskeleton-based car instead of an endoskeleton-based car. So it's extremely non-trivial to build the Cybertruck. But we're making good progress on that. We have the so yes, it's, that's the thing when I in the factory I tour the Cybertruck line to see how we're doing there, and sorry for the delay, but we're finally going to start delivering production Cybertrucks later this year. And I think the product, if anything, is better than expectations. Cybertruck is the car I will be driving on a day-to-day basis. There will be an S-curve of production, so it'll be slow at first, and then ramping up. And I guess we'll see what the demand is like. So, I mean, I think we're likely to do probably 250,000 a year, I think, maybe more. Again, very much dependent on what the demand is like, and it's you know, we don't just need to ramp up production, but we also need to improve the production cost efficiency, which is going to be also a very, very hard thing. So, but I'd say it's, you know, 250,000 a year is a reasonable guess. And it might be 500,000, I don't know, but we'll make as many as people want and can afford, but then, like I said, it's going to be hard to make the cost affordable because it is a new car, a new manufacturing method. So, in the grand scheme of things, relative to the production rate of all the other cars we make, it will be small, but still very cool. So, and you know, people always want to know what our next product is. But this is not the time to. We obviously need to have a proper dedicated product launch. I just want to emphasize that we are actually building a new product. We are actually designing a new product. We're not sitting on our hands here. There are 2 new products that I think you will be very excited about. And both the design of the products and the manufacturing techniques are head and shoulders above anything else that is present in industry. So, yeah, anyways. If I were to guess, I would say of these 2 new products, just these 2 new products alone, I would say we will probably make, obviously this is just Elon's guess, that will probably make in excess of 5 million units a year of these 2 models combined. So. And FSD beta is growing hyper exponentially. So that chart is going to look like a wall, basically. Being able to do a software update and have several million cars suddenly go from manual driving to autonomous, I think will be the single biggest asset value increase in history. The normal usage of a passenger car is roughly 10 to 12 hours per week, call it maybe an hour and a half per day. And when you drive around, you see lots of cars just parked in parking lots because out of the 168 hours in a week, they're using less than 10%, maybe 7% of the hours of the week a car is in use. But once it is autonomous, it can be used probably, I don't know, 50 hours a week, maybe more. So it is effectively a 5-fold increase in the value of a car overnight. I can't say enough about the profundity of full self-driving. It is just one of the biggest changes in history that will occur. It's not some feature. it's like a profound. It's really as profound as electrification. This is definitely, we're in sort of highly speculative territory here. But obviously, if you've got a car that costs the same and has, say, I don't know, a 20 or 25% margin, and suddenly is able to be used 5 times as much, then you might have 80% margins, and the revenue would increase several fold. That's why I say it's probably going to be the biggest asset value step change in history of Earth. If you say, like, if you have had a generalized humanoid robot, what would be the effective ratio of humanoid robots to humans? Because I think basically everyone would want one, and maybe people would want more than one, which means the actual demand for something like Optimus, if it really works, which it will, is, I don't know, I mean, 10 billion units? It's some crazy number. It might be 20 billion units if the ratio is, say, 2 to 1 on people, humanoid robots versus people. It might actually be, it's some very big number is what I'm saying, and a number vastly in excess of the number of cars. So my prediction is that Tesla's long-term value will be, a majority of the long-term value will be Optimus. And that prediction I'm very confident of. Just want to say, your support is super appreciated. As I say, a friend in need is a friend indeed. And supporting Tesla when the chips are down, those are the real friends, and you're them, so thank you.